Hello, baseball fans, and welcome to Billy Luis Yarbrough Stadium, where you're tuned in to SCSN for some Solano College baseball. I'm Stosh Zamoyda. I'm joined here in the broadcast booth with my good buddy Mike McLeod. Mike, how you doing today?
A little stressed out today. We're going a little short-handed. Only the four of us out here today. Apparently, everybody's a little iffy or in class. So.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to get out to these Thursday games, but what a beautiful day for baseball it is, where Solano will be taking on number 3 Santa Rosa College. And man,
the Bear Cubs.
The Bear Cubs, yeah, you know, and this is a very, very good baseball team. They've had a great program for the past couple years. Just to start out, you got to watch out for sophomore infielder Taylor Martin, man. This guy's batting 400 on the year so far. He's still early in the year, 7 games played, 400. He's swinging the bat pretty hot right now.
Yeah, they got a lot of experience here. I see a couple of sophomores returning, and especially in this starting lineup. Batting first, Matt Lococo, number 4. And he can swing the ball pretty well, too, batting .292.
Well, here we go. Just about
swing the ball. What am I talking about?
Swing the bat. Just about underway here. Billy Luis Yarbrough Stadium, where we have Ryan Ernest on the mound for Solano, the sophomore pitcher. He's appeared in 3 games, started 2. He has a 5.06 ERA. And the first pitch right down the middle for a strike, and that's a good way to start the day. 0-1 count to Lococo. Ooh, took a little off that one. A little change up there. Goes to 0-2. I like the way Ernest is coming out and attacking very strong. Ryan Ernest is a sophomore pitcher out of Columbine High School. 6'3", 185. Bats left, throws left. 0-2. Paints the outside corner for a strike 3 called there, and that is an excellent way to start.
And it's hard for left-handed pitchers to hit that outside corner.
Yes, it is, and he caught him looking too there, Mike. 3 straight strikes. That's a good start.
That's a fun way to go about things.
Yes, it is. Taylor Martin, who we were just talking about earlier in the game, is up now, batting second. Just a little high and outside for Bowen. Taylor Martin's on a little bit of a hot streak here to start the season. And he got the call there, low and outside. And that's strike 1, 1-1 count now.
The umpire kind of looking toward the Santa Rosa dugout and saying, yeah, that was a strike.
Slider just a bit outside there. 2-1. Ernest seems to have pretty good control of his changeup and fastball early on here after facing his second batter.
You know, I don't tend to see a lot of power left-handed pitchers in the MLB. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of them are more finesse, have a big sweeping curveball most of the time.
We can go back to the days of Cliff Lee. I mean, Cliff Lee threw the ball pretty hard. Randy Johnson. Fouled out of play over the visitor dugout. They'll keep the count at 2-2. And it's a ground ball to the second baseman. He picks it up, scoops it, and throws it first for the second out of the inning. And that is a 4-3.
Put out?
Put out, as you would write down on the scoreboard. So this is our first baseball broadcast together, Mike.
It's going to be a little rough.
Yeah, you know, we just have to get the swing of things. We're used to watching.
Swing of things.
Swing, hey, you like that? We just have to get used to, you know, we're used to calling the men and ladies basketball games here at Solano. It's a little bit quicker pace, but.
And you got me doing color. I'm more of a basketball mind, but, you know, I'll try my best.
Chase Stafford batting third for the Santa Rosa Bear Clubs. He's the infielder. He's batting .360 on the season so far.
419 on base percentage.
You know, I like this umpire. He has a little bit of that late strike call. You never know what's going to. It's builds a little anticipation there.
You're a fan of anticipation.
I am very much so, especially in baseball. It's always high tempo.
Did you say high tempo?
High pressure. I'm sorry.
Did you say high tempo in a baseball game?
I was up late last night cramming for an exam, so. Count now 2-1. And here comes the pitch. high. Now it'll be taken for ball 3. 3-1 now to Chase Stafford. Ernest leans in and he fires. A little backdoor cut there. Get the call for strike 2.
I love this umpire.
Full count now, and it's as low as it can be. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Oh, he left that one elevated. And Stafford didn't miss that one. It bounces off. One hops the fence. He's rounding first, going to second, and he has himself a stand-up double with 2 outs, and that would be a clutch hit for him.
And this seems like a pretty big stadium, big field.
You know, it's
because he got a good yank at that one.
He did, but he just topped it just a little bit. He saw the spin on the ball, and it came down very fast.
Very fast.
Very fast. I'm trying to organize my words here, so bear with me, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, the field isn't too tiny. It's 400 dead center, 370 in the gaps, and 330 down the lines.
It looks like really the only place you can take one deep is right over there on the scoreboard.
Now batting for the Santa Rosa Bear Clubs is number 10, Anthony Bender. He's their big hitter here, the cleanup hitter. He's batting a 160. Little struggles here early in the season. Ooh. That was a good dig by the catcher.
Well, there's a reason Santa Rosa is third in the state, 5-2 already. Their only losses coming to Shasta and Chabot, and 6-5 against Chabot. It's 4-2 against Shasta, so they're not getting blown out.
Ooh, he took a little off that pitch there. That'd be strike 2. You know, you talk to a lot of this Solano pitching staff, and a lot of them say that their changeup is their favorite pitch to throw. And that's really different. You know, most guys like throw fastballs, curveballs, but not these guys.
Yeah, well, maybe they just call it a changeup and they can't get it faster than that.
And it's a little dribbler to shortstop. Rubicobber picks it up, shoots and fires. Oh, I'm sorry, that's David Fernandez at shortstop with the play there.
Fernie playing shortstop tonight, or today still.
And that is a 3rd out of the inning, and we'll be right back to you after these messages. And leading off for the Solano Falcons is number 2, the shortstop, David Fernandez, the sophomore out of Armio High. He's batting .393 on the year with a .469 on-base percentage. And the pitch, he squares away to bunt, and he pulls it back for ball 1. Good way to take a pitch there. And on the mound for Santa Rosa is Izio Buechler.
That's a name. ERA .372, but Santa Rosa, for the most part, defense and pitching is the name of their game. First overall in their division in earned run average, only 1.45.
And 3 pitches, 3 straight balls to David Fernandez, who most likely will be taking it here to get himself on base and maybe start a little rally here. And that ball is just a little outside for ball 4. And Fernandez has himself a leadoff walk. Batting second for the Solano Falcons is number 3, Bobby Contreras. Bobby's appeared in 7 games so far. He has 14 at-bats, and he lays down a sacrifice bunt and just couldn't get down straight there. And he is an infielder out of Antelope High School. He bats right, throws right, 5'6", 165. You know, I actually got the chance to meet Bobby in my speech class last semester, and he's a pretty good guy, pretty funny, and
you do that to
lays
get over
down
your
the
speech
sacrifice bunt there, and what a beautiful bunt it is! A scoot past the pitcher. The pitcher throws it away, and all the runners are on their horse, the second and third, and they'll be standing there. And what a beautiful bunt that was by Bobby Contreras there, Mike.
Oh, that was it was a beautiful bunt. And the best bunts always go right past the pitcher on the first base side because the first baseman doesn't know what to do with it. The pitcher, if it gets past him, then the second baseman has to come in and get it. And it's a lot easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
But, the pitcher should have just eaten it and said, you know what, good bunt. Here you go. Here's your bag. He tried to rush the throw, threw it away. Now they're on second and third instead of first and second with no outs.
You know, those are the little things that cost you. The errors cost you. I mean, he made an excellent bunt there. He should have just given the bag. You're absolutely correct. Now up for the Solano Falcons is number 9, Darian Evans. He's the lone Falcon with the only home run on the year. And now is actually in their first game against West Valley, and the count goes to 1-1. And Buechler has himself a little bit of a jam here in the early going of this game. And a little poke hit down the line, right field line. That will score 2. And Darian Evans going to stay there with a stand-up single. And what a clutch hit that was there by Darian Evans.
You hear that one crack. Well, it's more of a ping than a crack because they're still using aluminum. But you know what I mean.
Like you say, that extra 90 feet that the air cost right there. Look at that. Base hit scores 2. That brings to the plate number 44, Trevor Faulkner, the big banger here for the Solano Falcons.
He's going to bunt.
And it trickles foul. You know, you got to knock those foul real quick because it might catch a pebble or a sunflower seed. It could roll back fair. But, you know, I can really see why Solano is leading the Bay Valley Conference in sacrifice hits and bunts so far.
They play small ball. A little Giants talk.
Yeah.
Small ball Giants.
You know, they got a couple good guys that can bang the bat here, but selfless baseball is what I like to see. He pulls back, stealing, and Evans is hosed out at second base for out number 1.
That was almost a pitch out. Didn't see it too clearly from here, but a high pitch, easier for the catcher because he's already coming up out of his stance to catch the ball, so he doesn't have to go down and get it, then transfer, come up.
Now 1 out here, 1-1 count to Faulkner. A little curveball caught the bottom of the corner there for strike number 2. 1-2 now. Let's see what Buechler's going to come here. High fastball. He lays off that one to push the count to 2-2. Infield is playing back for Faulkner here. Lazy curveball. Tried to catch the outside corner and just a little bit outside to push the count to a full count, 3-2. Grabs his grip and he rocks and fires. And that was a little bit of a desperation swing there for Faulkner.
Yeah, you got to protect. If it's going to be close, he already had that low strike called earlier in the at-bat, so you can't take any chances.
And Faulkner rips one to right field, and it's going to be a little base hit single for him.
And I like to see, even with a full count, with 2 outs, him going oppo, shortening up his swing, letting the ball get deep.
A little bit of defensive swing. He knew that ball was going to be on the outside. Not try to do too much. Just get on base and
go with the pitcher. Go with the ball.
You know, that brings up number 31, Eric Olson, the catcher for Solano.
Last game we saw Ian Acosta. So Eric Olson in my English 2 class.
Backdoor slider there for calls for strike 1. Eric Olson's a 375 hitter on the year so far.
375. That's a big boy. Can swing the bat.
And they check the runner at first, and he gets back safely. You know, that's one of those left-hander moves are a little difficult, a little tricky there.
You'd think it would be easier for the left-hander to pick off to first base.
Very much so. You know, left-handed moves they're really scary to deal with over at first base. But if you just go on first move when you're trying to steal, and he's really trying to go to Faulkner, and Faulkner's not really a speed guy for the team here, not known for stealing bases. Ball.
And Chelsea's here finally.
Buechler trying to work out of a jam here. Low and outside for ball 3. The count goes to 3-1 to Eric Olson. Olson looking in for the sign, gets a sign, digs in here. And it's outside for ball 4. That's the second walk of the inning recorded for Eric Buechler for Santa Rosa. And this brings the bat, number 27, Evan Facenda, first baseman. He's batting .312 on the season. Facenda played his high school baseball at Vanden High. And that's
and partner, sorry if I'm a little bit quiet here in the early going. I'm kind of doing the co-role of broadcaster and producer, making sure everybody's doing what they're doing.
Facenda's a .312 hitter on the year. And that's a ball, and the runners are going to move up 90 feet with the pass ball that goes to the backstop. Now they got runners on second and third with 1 out.
Now, for my pride, I'm going to pretend to be, I'm going to say that I'm pretending to be the unknowing baseball fan. What's the difference between a wild pitch and a pass ball?
Pass ball is when the ball is catchable for the catcher, but the catcher lets it go.
Okay.
And a wild pitch is, say, the catcher's down and the pitcher just throws one right to the backstop that he has no control over. That would be a wild pitch.
So just one's an E1, one's an E2?
That one right there was a pass ball because the catcher could have blocked it, but he didn't. It did tip off his glove, so you are absolutely correct.
Okay. They expect a lot of pitchers. Blocking's hard. I used to be a catcher back in the day.
Oh, and he finds a strike zone there and paints the outside corner for strike number 1.
A nice little frame job by the catcher.
That was a good take by Facenda because the pitcher has given up 4 straight balls. Oh, a little hanging curve gets the top corner there for strike number 2.
And he could have rocked on that one. I think Facenda wants that one back.
I think Facenda was looking for a fastball there and was fooled by the curveball, and he was in a hitter's count there. Now it's 2-2. Low. And no runners coming. And now it is a full count to Facenda. Buechler struggling here in the first inning, already given up 2 runs to Solano. Started off the inning with giving a walk to Fernandez, and then there's that hanging curveball again, called for strike 3 for out number 2. Now stepping up to the plate, number 1, Tucker Bishop, the third baseman. Tucker's struggling here a little bit in the early part of the year, but he had an amazing season last season for the Falcons, so let's see if he can continue some success and get things going here before the Bay Valley Conference play starts up here in a couple weeks. Excited for that.
I'm always excited. And, you know, Solano 1-6 on the year, but they do have a tough out-of-conference schedule.
Yes, they do. I mean,
they played Delta. They
played number 20 West Valley, number 19 Diablo Valley College, number 7 San Mateo, number 2 Delta College.
I don't see an unranked team on that list except
only
for
one,
American River.
But you know, American River brings it every single year.
Yeah. My first year broadcasting baseball, so I don't know that they bring it every year, but I will find out.
Ooh, a swinging strike there to push the count to 2-1.
Next Wednesday? No, that's not right. Is it?
The 25th.
25th. Next Tuesday? I don't know what day it is anymore. Oh, well.
Trying to get that backdoor curveball in there. Couldn't get the call. 3-1 is the count to Tucker Bishop. And he fouls this off to push the count to 3-2. Now the runners are going to get a pretty good jump here with 3-2, 2 outs.
Well, you're not going on this pitch because there's no force at home.
No, you're not going. I'm saying you're just going to get a little bit better jump. Ball 4.
Now, with the bases loaded, now you can try to steal home on that pitch. Well, that's what I thought you were trying to say. It's like Stash.
No, I'm just saying they're gonna.
I used to do that
They weren't going to take off. They're just going to get a little
MLB
bit.
2K7.
They're going to get a little bit of a better jump because they know if he makes contact, they're just going to jump right away. Don't have to worry about it there.
Yeah, well, if I'm the guy on third, I'm scoring on a hit anyway, so
Exactly.
I'll wait.
Now batting for Solano is number 8, Anthony Morris. Morris out of Oakland Tech, freshman. And then there, that would be a called strike. It was right down the middle for him. He's seen a strike now.
Yeah, Anthony Morris, the 6'1", 180 infielder.
You know, he's... Oh, and he just gets under it a little bit, and it's a high fly ball to center field, and that would be out number 3. But what a good inning for Solano, putting 2 runs on the board to take a quick 2-0 lead, and we're going to the top of the second. We'll be back to you after these messages. And we're back, and it's the top of the second, and coming to the plate for the Santa Rosa Bear Cubs.
Yeah, you're right both times.
Is number 27, Dane Erbst.
Erbst. That B in the middle will throw me off.
And there's a little ground ball down the first base line, and he couldn't pick it up there. It's a fair ball, and it's going to be a single for Erbst.
Yeah, well, if I was Ryan Ernest, I'd be a little afraid to get hit by the runner too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you know, I don't know how you would score that there. Was that an E1 or is that a base hit?
It was a tough play to make, but I think he was in position. If he had picked up the ball and tagged the runner, it would have been. I don't think he gets a base hit if Ryan Ernest doesn't fall down.
So E1 there. That's what I'm going to put down. We'll check with the scorer's booth after this inning. A little low and outside. To Bryan. Weston Bryan coming up to the plate. 286 hitter. Batting from the left side of the plate. Lefty on lefty matchup here. And now is a paint in the corner right there.
Now, as a pitcher, left-handed pitcher, which is easier to play against? Or which is easier to pitch against?
As a left-handed pitcher?
Or for you, fine, right-handed pitcher.
For a right-handed pitcher, well.
Is it easier to pitch to left-handed hitters?
It's all preference.
Because I know switch hitters, they'll line up because pitchers, it's harder for him to.
You always want to go righty versus lefty or lefty versus righty.
Okay.
Just that's. But some pitchers feast off left-handed hit. Like for me personally, when I played, I love facing left-handed pitching, just because I love taking the ball to the other side and the the curveballs and everything. Just had that rotation to allow him to go to the opposite field.
Yeah, going oppo is always fun. Back in my T-ball days, I was always first baseman. One time they put me in right field. That was a mistake.
Ooh, that'll be a double play ball here. He flips it Fernandez. Fernandez turns it for 2, and that's a 4-6-3 double play. Couldn't have drawn that up any better.
So in the last game we saw David Fernandez in the second baseman spot, and then we see him playing shortstop today, and Anthony Morris is playing second. And what's the difference defensively between playing second and playing short?
Oh man, there's a big difference between second and playing short.
Because it seems like it would just be. There wouldn't be a lot of difference.
Well, each position has their own. You have to play each position differently.
Well, yeah, their responsibilities.
There we go. That's the word I was looking for here. Oh, and that's a pop-up. We're looking right towards us behind the plate, and he's got room, and he makes a catch for out number 3, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. A little double
not a conventional
1-2-3, but it works for Solano, and they don't allow a run scored. Still 2-0, heading to the bottom of the second.
Hi there, my name is Roxy Gallegos from the Solano College Sports Network, and thank you for tuning in. I'm here to give you an update on the Solano men's basketball team. Last Wednesday, February 12th, the Solano Falcons took on Marin, and what an exciting game it was. Solano was down 10 points at halftime and came soaring back. Ryan Sondy and Brandon Davis led the charge, jumping ahead 1 point with 26 seconds left on the clock. After Marin called a timeout, they designed a play by Troy Moses that put them 2 points ahead, which proved to be a game winner as Solano lost a heartbreaker with a final of 65-67. Once again, my name is Roxy Gallegos from the Solano College Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. Go Falcons!
And we're back. And so an interesting first couple of innings. We've seen a couple of errors on both teams, 2 runs for the Solano Falcons. And so what do you take from the game so far?
So far, I would say Solano's having excellent plate appearances by just watching pitches, you know. Buechler's struggling a little bit here, throwing strikes, and Solano's taking advantage and waiting for the pitches.
Buechler not known to struggle. 15 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings. Only 3 walks, 4 earned runs, 8 runs given up, but only 4 of them earned. I mean, his stats are impressive for this early in the season.
And Gio Torres tops that one to second base. He's got some wheels, though. Can put a little more pressure on there, but he's out for number 1. Out number 1.
Santa Rosa second in their conference in batting average against. Only 201 people hit against them.
Batters faced.
Well, yeah, at bats against 224. So only 20% of 224. Only 44 hits, 45 hits.
And now batting for the Falcons, number 2, David Fernandez, the shortstop, leadoff hitter. He takes his first strike. Takes ball 1. And, you know, that's 5 straight balls thrown to Fernandez here. And he gets the corner there for strike number 1, pushes the count to a 1-1. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Buechler over here throw a little curveball, a little backdoor curve. And I called that one perfectly. 1-2. He really, you know, when the count's even, he really likes to attack with his curveball, and that's what I'm seeing so far. And second time through the lineup here. Tries to get the curveball working again, just couldn't get it down, so that's ball 2.
Now, where do you want to put a curveball when you're facing a right-handed batter?
Coming from the left-hand part, you want to. Ooh, Fernandez swung out of his shoes there, and for out number 1 or out for out number 2.
Because I always like that little
backdoor. Yes, that's exactly.
They give up on it; it comes right back in.
But you know, it depends on the umpire too, because some umpires won't call the pitch that wraps around the plate, but others will. And that is a strike right down the middle to Contreras. Fernandez and Contreras both scored in the first inning. And Bobby fouls that one off, and he's in the hole 0-2. And it seems like Buechler over here is starting to get a little rhythm for the game, starting to settle down a little bit. Oh,
as you say it.
Let that one slip there. 1-2 the count. Now I'm expecting a big curveball coming from him right here. There it was, couldn't get it down. 2-2.
Bobby Contreras only 5'6", a little bit of a smaller strike zone to get it into, as opposed to the 6-foot David Fernandez.
Oh, and he gets the backdoor call there for strike number 3, and that will end the bottom of the second. 3 up, 3 down, and we're heading to the third.
Hi, my name is Malcolm Gamble.
And I'm Marnie Silvani. We're coming to you from the Solano studio on the Solano College Sports Network.
And we have a speech and debate update for you.
The Solano Speaking Falcons just competed at the Tabor Vinitsky Tournament down in Southern California. It's a 3-day tournament hosted by Cerritos College.
And the first day was debate, and guess what? All teams broke. The teammates are Alice Hoover, Antoinette Shirley, myself and Roxley, and Brad.
And on the following day were our individual events, and Solano took first place in sweepstakes awards. And here are a few highlights. Roxy Gallegos took first place in persuasive speaking.
Alice Hoover was on one of the top speakers in debate. She took 4th overall.
And in 3 weeks, the Solano Speaking Falcons will be hosting the state tournament in Concord,
where we will be taking home some more gold.
Go Falcons.
Top of the third here at Billy and Luis Yarbo Stadium. You are tuned in to SCSN, where we have a great baseball matchup between Santa Rosa and your Solano Falcons.
Zeke Colby at the plate.
He swings at the first pitch, fouls it out over the visiting dugout for strike number 1.
Zeke Colby only appeared in 2 games so far, 1 for 3. But that one hit was turned into a run. He has 1 strikeout and a stolen base. So a little bit of everything.
A little bit of a curveball there. Gets the strike call there. He puts him in a hole early 0-2. And Ernest is finding himself a groove here. Ooh, just lets that one rip and just a bit outside, I would say.
Just a bit outside. That was Bob Euchre, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
See, I'm not completely out of the loop.
Trying to get the back door in there and couldn't get it to go. And count goes to 2-2 to Colby.
It's not often you see an outfielder / pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what Colby is. Can sling the rock if he wants to.
And it's a ground ball. The third, Tucker Bishop scoops it, throws it over to first, and he is off the bag at first base, and he is safe.
Evan, is that a E3?
No, that is actually a base hit.
Really?
Yes, because from my vantage point here, he was safe even if he didn't take his foot off the bag there.
Okay, because I saw the umpire say he came off the bag, and so that's why it was safe.
You know, but that was an excellent play by Tucker Bishop. He,
to scoop it up
and get the ball over there.
Going away
Very
from
tough
you.
play, especially.
You gotta throw it off your right foot, coming away, going out of bounds.
And like you're saying, Colby has some good speed over there at first, and
does have a stolen base on the year.
Yes, just then we might want to keep an eye on him over there. He's not afraid to take one here. And that's a strike called there. Just painting the outside corner.
Spencer Neve, the catcher for Santa Rosa at the plate. 24 at-bats, 7 hits, with a double and 2 triples on the year. So,
and they check the run over at first. Not a big lead there.
Only batting .292, but you know what he's done. He's done it well. When he has hit it, it's gone a long way.
Rock and fire. Couldn't get the curveball down there, and the count goes to 1-1. No outs. Top of the third. What a beautiful day, Mike.
Yeah, it really needed. We were supposed to have a game that got rained out twice. We need the rain, but it's always nice to have a nice, beautiful day like this when you're having a baseball game. Makes you want to have a hot dog and
you
some
know
chips.
we were supposed to give you the game against West Valley College on Monday because it was rained out last Friday. And unfortunately, the passing of Coach Matt North, his funeral was on that day, so we took the day off and went over and attended that. And, you know, we wish his family the best, and he will be missed.
Definitely. The Poff family in that game that we broadcast.
Oh, Bishop lays out there, knocks the ball down, and he can't get it out there, but you know what? He saves an extra 90 feet there. And you can't hurt a guy.
That would have been a grounder double.
You know, what an excellent effort for Tucker Bishop right there just to get a glove on the ball.
Yeah, he had David Fernandez backing him up, but you can't take that chance. You got to make a play if you think you can.
Third base, you can get whatever you can get because if that ball goes back in the hole, you know, Fernandez does have a good arm over there, but that is a tough play. That's a Jeter play. You know?
Yeah. Jeter retiring at the end of the season.
His swan song, as they would call it.
Think the Yankees are going to be a contender this year?
Lococo looks like he's getting ready to lay down a sacrifice bunt here to get both the runners in the scoring position.
McFly. Are the Yankees going to be a playoff contender this year?
Did you just call me McFly?
Yes, Marty McFly. Hello, McFly. Anybody in there? My dad calls me McFly all the time.
And the count is 1-0. You know, the Yankees will not be a contender this year. They're too old. No pitching.
Still got CC Sabathia,
you know,
correct?
I mean, you have their returning World Series champions, Boston Red Sox, and you got the Baltimore Orioles. Just signed Ubaldo Jimenez to a long-term contract, and he bunts this ball foul down the third base line. Count goes to 1-1. And, you know, Manny Machado will be back after that horrific injury he suffered last year, and you got Chris Davis, who took away Miguel Cabrera's Triple Crown last year.
And nothing made me happier than Chris Davis having more home runs.
You know, it made me, you know, I was very happy for Miggy winning the first one. I didn't want to see him win a second one just because I despise the Tigers, coming from an A's fan.
Tigers don't seem so bad.
Oh, and that is hit by the pitch, and it's going to load the bases with no outs here in the top of the third.
So Ryan Ernest and a little bit of a jam. Bases drunk
Bases drunk.
because they're
No.
loaded. No?
No. Never.
I've
Sorry.
heard that once.
Sorry.
What do you mean no?
And Stover is going to go out here and talk with his pitcher, Ryan Ernest, just to calm him down here.
I was just trying to think of another name for, you got to admire my attempt.
Mm-hmm.
First baseball game I've ever done. At least you got a little bit of practice last season.
Yeah, just a little bit. Called a couple innings here, a couple innings there. But, we got Professor Greg Poff and Zach Poff calling most of them games. Excellent broadcasters there. And we're just trying to fill their shoes today.
Yeah, I listened to the game that we brought you here at SCSN. They had so much to talk about because they've been doing it for 7-8 years since Stover came on. And it's just ridiculous how much they have to talk about.
Up, and he gets the call there for strike one, and that's something that Ernest really needed to do right there.
Mm-hmm. It's a strikeout situation, only no outs, bases loaded.
Still early in the game. I would take a double play here and just allow one run.
Yeah. My dad used to be my coach in Little League, and he said, always know what you're going to do.
Fernandez knocks the ball down, can't find it. It's at his feet, and all the runners are safe, and that puts a run on the board for Santa Rosa. And, I hate to do this, but I would say that would be an error on David Fernandez there.
It was a tough play to make. It came on him, a little one-hopper.
Now at bat, the big hitter here for Santa Rosa. Chase Stafford, batting a .360 on the year.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
And he already has one dinger this year.
He had 6 doubles. So a double here will clear the bases.
Oh, and he rips one there to Fernandez. Fernandez can't get a glove on it there. Just goes under him, and 2 runs are going to score. Oh, and the throw coming to home. Just a little up the baseline there and allow the run to score, and Santa Rosa takes the lead.
But
3-2.
throw from left fielder, help me out here. Who's playing left field today?
Bobby Contreras.
Bobby Contreras. That was a heck of a throw.
Yes, it was.
Bobby Contreras listed as an infielder. Kind of got a shortstop arm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely get it wherever it needs to go.
Like I was saying, we were talking before the season. He could play the outfield. He could play the infield. He's kind of a utility player, and it's always nice to have a couple of them on your team to give some guys some time off. Yep, just pure athletes.
Baseball players.
A lot at this collegiate level here, you see a lot of guys playing multiple positions.
Anthony Bender lays down a bunt.
Picks it up, tries to throw it first, and he gets the out at first, and Ernest does an excellent
first
job.
Out of the inning, and we got runners on second and third. Nobody scored on that play.
Stover getting on his team here, and looks like there's a little action going on in Solano's bullpen.
Well, if any more runs score this inning, I'd say Ryan Ernest's day will be done.
Mm-hmm. He's giving up 3 runs this inning in the top of the third. There's 1 out. And it brings up number 27.
Dane Herbst.
Dane Herbst.
Herbst.
And the pitch, and he's going to bunt, trying to sacrifice here. Runner coming home. And they're going to settle for the out here. And he just throws it away. And it's going to allow 2 runs to score. And that's not what Stafford was looking. And Stover looks down at his bullpen, tells him to start hurrying up here. And that puts Solano in the hole, 5-2.
A little bit of a lazy throw from Ryan Ernest.
He came off the mound a little slow, and just everything about that was just feels a little slow on that play.
Well, he wasn't expecting a bunt. It was a little bit of a drag bunt. A late break.
Brian at the plate. First pitch inside for ball 1. Weston Bryan.
The signs have always fascinated me about the game of baseball. I would never be able to keep track of them.
Low for ball 2.
Is there like a general code, or is it different for every team?
Not at all. Every team has their own signs, own indicators. I mean, if everybody had the same code, you can just look over there and know exactly what they're doing. You know, you can go hat as indicator, and, you know, your thigh would be steel, and you can even work 2 different indicators, 3 different indicators. You get up to the major leagues, and you don't know what's going on there, man. And he gets a strike call there, pushes the count to 2-1. Ernest really looking to get out of this inning here. No more runs allowed. He's hoping for a ground ball. Get a double play here. And the pitch. And that ball squeaks by the catcher. It's going to allow Bender to get to second base.
Would that be a wild pitch?
That would be a wild pitch.
See, I'm learning.
But there's a fine line between a wild pitch and a pass ball.
A little bit subjective.
Yes, to each score, you know, whoever's running the scorebook here. In my book, I have it as wild pitch. Some others may have it as pass ball. But, you know, Eric Olson's pretty much a wall back here behind the plate.
Yeah, he's a big boy. There's a lot to get past him.
And shot down the third baseline, foul.
So 3-2.
Loads the count up.
1 out.
And Ernest could really use a strikeout here.
Or an infield pop-up. Don't want it to advance the runner at all.
Checks the runner and fires. Gets him to swing over the top of it. Couldn't hang on to it, and that's just a foul ball. Battling off there for Bryan.
Now, I see a lot of times that it'll come off the bat into the catcher's glove, and some umpires call that, oh, he tipped it, so that's fine. Others say, no, that's strike 3. Does it really just depend on the umpire?
No, if it tips and he doesn't catch it, then it's a foul ball. But if he catches it, it's an out.
Oh, because that would be like catching a foul ball. Okay.
Ground ball to first, and that's going to be out number 1. Out number 2. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, always keeping you in line.
That advances the runner over to third base with 2 outs.
Number 32, Dylan Eterovich.
Eterovich, I like that name.
Or Eterovich, I don't know.
Eterovich. I think he might be Russian.
Some sort of East European.
And he must be mad that Russia lost in the hockey Olympic Games.
I'm not.
Strike call there for Ryan Ernest. Gets ahead in the count 0-1.
Eterovich appeared in 4 games so far, 11 at-bats, 3 hits with a double, 3 RBIs. So, looking to get a 4th here.
That pitch just a little low there.
Batting .273 on the year, 250 on-base percentage, and 364 slugging percentage. Now, slugging percentage isn't something I've never gotten. What is slugging percentage?
Oh, and he pokes this one out to left center field. It's going to be a tough play, but Bobby Contreras is under it for out number 3, and that ends the top of the 3rd, where Santa Rosa put up 5 runs. Now Solano's down 5-2 and will be coming back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Denzel Carter, coming from Solano Studios. Thank you for watching SCSN. Now to start things off, I'll be updating you on women's basketball. Last week on February 12th, the women had a great victory against the Marin Mariners with a score of 78-61. With Denisha Lundy leading the team with 27 points, her teammate Taylor Hamilton came around and put up an additional 22 to help get to that victory. Now with that win, they have clinched the 11th Bay Valley Conference, and now they are preparing for the playoffs, and we all will be keeping a close eye on them. Well, that wraps things up here. My name is Denzel Carter, and from all of us at SCSN, thanks for watching. Now back to the game.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the third here. Coming to the plate for the Solano Falcons is number 9, Darian Evans. And he takes a first pitch called strike on the low outside corner. Evans has been having a strong year so far in early going. Second pitch curveball low. Oh, he gets the strike call there, right at the knees. 0-2, finds him in a quick hole. Izio Buechler coming out strong. High fastball.
Darian Evans, also in my English 2 class. So, sit next to him every day. He doesn't talk to me much, but, no, not many people do.
Oh, and he swings over the top of a nice curveball for strike number 3, and that is the first out of the inning. That brings up number 44, the DH, Trevor Faulkner.
And you get a little bit uneasy without the walk-up music because I think, if I recall correctly, Trevor Faulkner's was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Strike call there on the outside corner. I actually had the privilege of playing with Trevor Faulkner, and when he swings out that one. And when I was playing with him, he was a catcher. He swings the bat pretty well. A little power hitter for our team, the Thompson Cabinetry of the Fairfield Expo organization.
Thompson's Corner Saloon.
Strike number 3 there for out number 2. And Buechler is rolling now. 2 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, he's settled in.
Actually, that is 4 straight strikeouts going back to last inning.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why he had more strikeouts than innings pitched.
Mm-hmm. Eric Olson takes the first pitch strike, curveball in the outside corner. And Buechler is really using his curveball effectively. Dirty ball there for ball number 1.
Dirty ball. I like that. That's a nice phrase. Oh, you mean that was actually like a – okay.
No, it hit the dirt and bounced off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant – I wasn't really – I was looking down. I was looking at something on the stat sheet. So I didn't know if you meant like a dirty ball, like, I don't want this ball. Can I get another one? Or – okay.
2-1 to Olson.
That'll
Curveball
teach me to
hanging.
talk.
Doesn't get the call there, and it goes to 3-1. It's just a little high. Now, if you watch Buechler here, he is finding his rhythm. He's pitching fast. Curveball there for strike number 2.
And the curveball has a little bit more bite to it.
Mm-hmm. He's finding his rhythm. He gave up that, leadoff walk to Fernandez, and then an error to Contreras, put the Solano up 2-0. And Olson fouls this one back, fighting off the pitch. But Buechler's really settled down here past couple innings. Strike right down the heart of the plate, called for strike 3, and that will end the third inning. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts for Buechler, and we'll be back here for the top of the 4th.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Thompson, cameraman here at Solano College Sports Network. Thank you for watching SCSN, your home for Solano sports. Now back to the game.
And we have a pitching change for Solano. Checking in is number 24 is Drew Lamont to come in relief for Ryan Ernest, who had 3 innings pitched and gave up 5 runs.
Drew Lamont, the sophomore pitcher out of Berrien Christian High School, 6'4", 195. Big boy on the mound.
And he comes out firing for a strike to Zeke Colby here for Santa Rosa. Rocks and fires. Ooh, nice little curveball there. Call for strike 2. Now, Drew, it's another guy we got to catch up before the season, and another guy who really likes to use a changeup. Likes to mix his speeds. Throw a curveball in here and there.
And not the best season for Drew Lamont so far. A 15 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 14 hits given up, 10 earned runs, 1 strikeout on the year, 1 walk.
Ooh, comes in, strike 3 there, and for out number 1.
Make that 2 strikeouts on the year.
Solano is on a 4-game losing streak right now. They're 1-6 on the season. And, it's just kind of preseason like we touched on earlier when they were playing a lot of ranked opponents. But these are opponents that we'll probably see later in the playoffs. Ball low and outside.
And if I recall, last season, the baseball team didn't get off to a hot start, but did get to the Super Regionals, I believe.
Yes, it did. Ooh, strike called there. Push the count to 1-1.
I had Chad Fortney in my speech class last year, and after every baseball game, he loved to talk to the entire class about what he had done in that game. Didn't do much, only batted like 187, 188 on the year, but still a productive member of the team. Defensively, I'm assuming.
Coming into the season, there's a lot of young arms in this Solano bullpen, and Solano's was hoping, they can really count on the relief pitching so far, but they're shaky a little bit here early on. I'm sure they'll figure it out as the season rolls on. They start seeing some more familiar foes in conference play. Drew looks in and starts to wind up, and he fires. And it's a foul ball down the right field line, almost into Santa Rosa bullpen.
Baseball's got to be one of the funnest games to be a part of, even when you're not at bat or on the field. Just sitting in the dugout. I'm listening to Santa Rosa, and they're having a ball.
Little high curveball there, right to Fernandez. Fernando gloves it, throws it over to first for out number 2.
Would you say that Fernandez is kind of the leader of this team?
I would definitely say him and Gio Torres were probably the 2 captains, returning sophomores from the season last year. And, when we were talking to the team earlier in the season, really a lot of the young freshmen coming in really relied on Gio Torres and David Fernandez to help guide them, get them used to the college atmosphere by going to classes and balancing your baseball schedule and everything like that.
And it's got to be especially tough given how condensed the schedule is. You got a lot of – I know I have an English class with a couple of these guys, and we have a lot of homework due tomorrow, and they're going to come right from the game and immediately start getting to work on their reading journals. So,
and Matt Lococo swings over the pitch there.
Lococo for Cocoa Puffs? Or Cuckoo for Lococo Puffs?
And it's a ground ball to second base. He fields it, throws it over to first for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Solano, and now they're heading to the bottom of the 4th. Let's see if they can put some runs on the board to get back into this ball game. Bottom of the 4th, Solano down 5-2, and up steps number 27, Evan Vicenda. High for ball number 1. And Izzy Buechler's really been dominating the past 2 innings with 5 strikeouts. Doesn't get the call there.
That's strikeouts per game, almost 14 a game for Buechler. So we've seen him turn it on lately. 5 straight, I believe.
5 straight strikeouts. And Evan Vicenta gets a base hit to right field, and that ends the strikeout streak. And Solano has their leadoff man aboard. And up steps the sophomore, Tucker Bishop.
Tucker Bishop, he's one of the personalities on this team.
Yes, he is.
Didn't know it at the time because I didn't know anybody's name, but now that I see him, he was the guy making fun of everybody and having just a good old time.
He had a good freshman season, and he's trying to continue that success here in his sophomore season. He lays down a sacrifice bunt, and it's a good one. A little short arm there, and good sacrifice bunt from Tucker Bishop. Moves Vicenda over to second.
So, in the MLB, it has been approved, the use of replay, or expanded use of replay. I don't know all the details on it. Do you?
Yes, I do. So, for the first 7 innings, each team has 1 use of a challenge. And then after the 7 innings, they get another one. So if you use one early enough, but after the 7 innings, you only get 1 for the rest of the game. So if they go in extra innings.
So you might as well use it in the first 7 innings because it doesn't roll over, it doesn't stack up.
Yes, and you cannot challenge balls or strike calls, but you can challenge foul balls, fair balls, foul balls, home runs, stolen bases, force outs, things like that. I was one that's against instant replay in baseball because bad calls are part of the game. That's what I was taught. Anthony Morris holds back there for ball number 2. And they check it, and it's a strike. Yes, he went. And the count is 1-1 to Morris. And Bruckler steps on the rubber, looks in for a sign. He comes set, checks the runner at second, rocks and fires. Curveball, strike number 2. Morris just swung over that one.
So I'm having a couple of technical difficulties with my Gatorade here. I think it's leaking a little bit.
And that is going to be strike 3 called to Anthony Morris for out number 2.
So like you were saying, you were always brought up to believe that bad calls were part of the game.
Yes, you know, and you can never get mad. I mean, of course you can get mad at the bad calls, umpire calls, but you have to respect them because that's their decision, and then they don't always get it right. They're human beings. I mean, we've seen in the major leagues, we've seen a blown perfect game a couple years ago with the Tigers and Galarraga when the guy was clearly out. And ooh, good block by the Santa Rosa catcher there. That's ball number 1 to Gio Torres. You know, it's just part of the game. I mean, if we look back, you go back to the Babe Ruth days, you know, Mickey Mantle, you know, the 60s, there was never instant replay. It's kind of changing the game. I mean,
well, there wasn't instant replay in any of those, in any sport, but instant replay is becoming part of every other sport. And
Gio turns on one there, and Gio's got good speed. And he is out at first, and that ends the inning where it's 5-2 going into the top of the 5th, and Solano's down. And we'll be back after this message. All right, we'll bring you the rest of that message about Miss Haley Green right after this top of the 5th.
And if it doesn't make it through the mid-5th, then we'll definitely have it after the bottom of the 5th.
Yes, we will. And bear with us, folks. It may not be our best broadcast. We are a little short-handed today, but we're working with what we got, right?
Yep.
Making it work.
5 people here. The 2 of us.
Low
Chelsea
for
Williams
ball 1.
finally showed up when she was good and ready. Yeah, a lot of people have class on Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday, usually the popular days to have class.
And Taylor gets a hold of one here, going back left field, and Bobby Contreras finds it, tracks it down for out number 1. And it looks like he lost that one there for a little bit, but he made a nice adjustment to get back under the ball, fight in the sun. And up steps the big hitter for Santa Rosa, number 3, Chase Stafford. The second baseman.
Chase Stafford.
He already has 1 double on the day and reached on an error to the shortstop on his last at-bat. Kicks and fires. Low for ball 1.
I think he looks bigger than he is. I don't have his stats here. I don't have his
Drew gets a call strike there.
his
on the
height
outside
and weight,
corner.
but so continue our discussion about instant replay in baseball. It's more baseball traditionalists.
Ooh, and that's a base hit to left field for Chase Stafford. And he's continuing to stay hot for this Santa Rosa team. With one out in the top of the 5th, up steps the cleanup hitter, number 10, Anthony Bender. Anthony has ground out to short and ground out to the pitcher, or a sacrifice to the pitcher's last at bat.
Yeah, and Anthony Bender is just as tall as he looks.
He's a big boy. He's got some power behind him. Drew with the fastball in the outside corner gets the call for strike 1. So, instant replay. You know, I think, you know, it's time for change in baseball, especially with all the steroids, you know, controversy going on. They're trying to get rid of the steroid use, even though it was exciting to watch Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Rafael Primero. Oh, and he pokes one to right field, right to Darian Evans. Darian's under it for out number 2. Keeps the runner on first. And up steps Dane Herbst.
But I heard a stat that said baseball umpires get 95% of calls right.
Yes, they do. They do an excellent job.
But how come it seems like the 5% that they get wrong are always the biggest calls of the game?
Because, you know, every baseball game, it depends on that one break. If it's a close game, whatever team gets that one break, like an error or a walk, that can spark something. Check the runner at first. Ooh, almost get him there. And Drew Lamont shows that he has a good pickoff move to first.
One of my favorite players growing up, J.T. Snow, first baseman for the Giants. Clever, number 8. That was my brother's favorite number, and when I was 8 years old, it was my favorite number. So
And Earps, guys, went to right center field, and Darian Evans is under it to end the inning with no runs allowed. And now bring up Solano in the bottom of the 5th. All right, and we are back here in the bottom of the 5th at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium, where David Fernandez digs into the batter's box. First pitch, curveball on the outside corner, called a strike.
And like we were saying during the break, quite a quick game here today between Santa Rosa and Solano. And I think Santa Rosa would be pretty content to have the game go quick and end just like this.
And Buechler struggled in that first inning with a leadoff walk to David Fernandez and an error to Bobby Contreras, and then Faulkner came up with a big single to allow both runners to score.
Was it Faulkner?
You know what? Yes, it was Faulkner.
Okay.
No, Faulkner walked. It was, Darian Evans.
Darian Evans,
yes.
That's right.
And the count is 2-2 to Fernandez.
Yeah, because he poked one oppo right field.
Fernandez swings over the top of a curveball for strike 3.
I think we had to settle down the first couple innings, too.
Yes, we did. And now up steps Bobby Contreras. He has scored a run today and struck out looking. So let's see if Bobby can get a pitch to hit. Trying to bunt there. It's ball 1. And if you really pay close attention to Buechler, watch how quick he's pitching. He is finding a rhythm, and this is when you step into the plate and you call timeout to throw him out of his rhythm because he likes to pitch fast. Strike called there, a little bit of low there. Bobby's not too happy, but once again, you got to deal with it. He's been calling it all day. He's very consistent behind the plate. And
I just barely counted a 10 between Buechler getting the ball back and pitching again. So
that's not a good sign, and Buechler seems to be hurt.
Yeah, he was shaking his hand a little bit before that last pitch. And
this is going to bring out the medical staff for Santa Rosa. Hopefully
maybe he threw himself out of his own rhythm.
And it looks like he's rubbing his elbow there. And, I felt that pain before as a pitcher. You get in a really good rhythm, and you feel a little tight, tightness, keep tightening up, and all of a sudden you just throw one pitch and you just kind of feel a little pop or a snap, and it's not very comfortable.
Is that from the curveball, do you think?
Yeah, he's been throwing a lot of curveballs early on, and looked like he threw a curve there, and that little whipping motion you come down with the arm there is not healthy on your elbow. That's why they recommend not to start throwing curveballs until you're about 14 or 15 years old for your body to develop. So all those young kids throwing curveballs in Little League, they're just going to shred their arms apart.
Yeah, I always heard a good rule of thumb is don't throw a curveball till there's hair under your arm.
When I was in Little League, we're always messing around, throwing a ball around. Whenever I throw a curveball, my dad would just get on me and say, "Don't you do that." He goes, "One day I'll teach you how to throw one," and eventually he did.
What's your favorite pitch to throw, personally?
Has to be my curveball.
Curveball?
Yep, that was my favorite pitch
I
to
had a
throw.
little bit of a slider going every once in a while. I went online, learned the grips, taught myself a little bit. I mean, I never got serious about baseball. My brothers were. They both played baseball through high school, and my parents shelled out, got them swing coaches, got them pitching coaches, everything. My brother Ryan was a catcher. My brother Nick was a pitcher. So,
what happened to you, Mike?
I was 10 years younger, so but my dad was a little upset because every time from all the time that they had spent with my brothers, and they're just like, I'm kind of bored with the game, and they just stopped playing. My brother Nick wanted to play basketball. My brother Ryan wanted to go to theater, be in L.A., work in the movies. So by the time I got into baseball age, my dad was like, well, I'm not going to spend another 10 years of my life throwing pop-up flies and throwing my arm out just to have him not want to do that. So I never got the same opportunity, but that's part of what being the baby of the family means.
And checking in for Santa Rosa is number 22, J.J. Jamerson. And we hope that Buechler is all right because he was having a pretty good game after, take away the first inning, and the guy's been lights out.
Yeah, perfect game almost.
This could work into Solano's favor here. And it looks like he's a little bit of a sidewinder, right-handed pitcher here. And you know what? I love facing sidewinders myself because you can really see the release point early.
Now, what's the difference between a sidewinder and a submariner? Because I hear them kind of used the same way.
They kind of are. If you watch a sidewinder, they directly come from the side. So if you're looking for that release point, as you can tell right there, he's showing the ball here before he's releasing it. When a submarine pitcher will literally go below their waist and fling it up, and that's harder to see because they're hiding the ball longer, so they come down and flick it up.
Okay. Makes a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see too many pitchers come straight over the top.
No.
It's usually a three-quarter release.
Most of the guys that throw straight over the top are probably punching low 90s, high 90s, because if you're coming straight over the top, the ball's coming straight down, you can make good contact. So you need some powerful pitchers that have that.
A little country hardball.
And now let's see if JJ can shut down the Falcons here, just like his predecessor, Buechler, was doing.
That's a big word for you,
hey,
predecessor.
Trying to expand my vocabulary.
You got
here.
a thesaurus in your backpack?
Shh. Hey, performance enhancers don't apply to us, right?
Not here at SCSN, your home for Solano sports. You finally find your T-shirt?
Yeah, I found it in my closet finally.
Yeah.
And Bobby swings at the first pitch and knocks it foul.
Did you find it next to your signed Hall of Fame Joe DiMaggio jersey that you showed me the other day?
Actually, it was right under that jersey.
Yeah, well, there you go. Good thing that you decided to show off your hardware.
And Contreras, 1-2 count. JJ rocks and fires. Ball outside for ball 2. A little bit less velocity coming from Jamerson. Fastball on call for ball 3. The count is full. And Robbie, slow ground ball to second baseman. He scoops and fires for out number 2. And this will bring up number 9, Darian Evans.
So when did you stop playing baseball?
I stopped playing going into my senior year. Unfortunately,
Something happened, injury? Or
yeah, I was snowboarding and wound up hurting. That's a high strike call there to Evans. Unfortunately, snowboarding and landed on my shoulder wrong, dislocated it, and pulled a muscle. And
throwing arm?
Yep, my throwing arm.
Career ender.
I probably could have rehabbed it, but at the point in my life there, I was pretty much done with baseball. Played over 100 games a summer since I was 13 years old. So Darian gets a hold of one here. Just a bit under it, and it's caught. Oh, and he drops it in center field. And Darian Evans catches the break here, and that's the momentum swing Solano might need to get the ball rolling here.
Looks like he was going for a couple of style points. La Coco Crisp. Not exactly the same. I'm trying to be funny. You're not laughing.
Checking in for Solano, replacing Darian Evans, is number 29, Ignitas Lawrence. Iggy, there we go.
Yeah. Iggy Lawrence, the outfielder, 6'1", 195, out of Casa Grande High School. Don't exactly know where that is, but
I believe it's up in the Sacramento area.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, and Faulkner pokes one down to right field, right into the hands of the right fielder for out number 3. And that ends the inning. Still 5-2 going into the 6th. All right, top of the 6th here, 5-2. And you're tuned in to SCSN, and we are here at Billy and Louise Yarborough Stadium. I'm Stosh Samoida with my broadcast partner, Mike McLeod. And he pokes one here to the right center field. They're fighting for the ball, and Gio Torres is under it for out number 1.
The thing had a little bit of carry to it. There's a little bit of wind carrying out to left center, more left than center, but I think it just kept going. I thought that was going to be an infield pop-up, and just kept going out and out and out.
May not be a lot of wind down here, but you get it up in the air about
That's
30,
true.
50 feet, and who knows what it will do up there. Strike called there to Dylan Etrovich.
So I'm looking up and down this roster for Solano, and you really have to talk about just the diversity of where these guys have come from to make up this roster. You got Benicia and Armio, but then you have Antelope, Rodriguez, Bear River, Vanden, Oakland Tech, Rio Vista, Dixon, Fairfield, Wolsey Wood, Columbine High School, Albany,
Woo!
Dixon, Berrien Christian, Bradshaw Christian, Casa Grande, Iggy Lawrence, I just said that, Pleasant Grove. They're all over the place. And that's mostly Stover's reputation, I believe.
Stover and his coaching staff does an excellent job in the offseason recruiting players to come here to play at Solano. And not just players, very athletic, smart players. Most of these guys on this team are rocking 4.0s. Ball there.
And Stover might insist a little bit on 4.0. I know Matt Boychert, the women's basketball coach, demands at least a 3.0 rather than just the 2.0 to even attempt to play on his squad.
But, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
For that, because look at how many players have transferred from playing at Solano, any sport, and going on to a 4-year or, D1, D2 school. Ooh, coming right back towards us here in the broadcast booth for strike number 2.
Even if they don't play professional ball, like Victor Romero or
my good buddy Victor Romero, who signed with the Padres earlier, he'd be heading down spring training soon. And
but even if they don't get, if this is the highest level they play, there's nothing wrong with getting good grades. They still need to get a degree somehow.
Student comes before athlete.
That's right.
And they really emphasize that here at Solano, and that's a lot of the reasons why, parents, when they're helping their children decide to go play ball somewhere, they look at the education. Strike 3 called there, and that is out number 3. Quick inning of work for Drew Lamont, and we're heading to the bottom of the 6th. As the pitcher and catcher are finishing up their warm-ups here, we're heading to the bottom of the 6th, and you're tuned into the Solano College Sports Network, your home for Solano Sports. I'm Stosh Samoida, my broadcast partner, Mike McLeod. We just want to say thank you for putting up with us today.
Putting up is a very accurate term.
And we're running a little short staff today. Usually we'd have 3 different camera angles for you, but we're working on
we got 2. One's a stationary camera. Manned by our good buddy Casper. But
Eric Olson stepping up to the plate now. Big Eric Olson, the catcher. Let's see if he could spark something here for Solano. And that ball is inside for ball 1. And this J.J. Jamerson likes to pitch a little quick too.
What do you think the J.J. stands for?
Jim James.
Jim James Johnson?
And Olson, not the best speed, gets thrown out at first for out number 1.
I hope it's like Jimmy John.
Slim Jim, Timmy Jim.
Looking at a couple commercials the other night. Slim Jim, Timmy Tim.
Evan Vicenda, last at bat, got a single to right field. Swings at the first pitch here, right to the third baseman, and the third baseman drops the ball there. And Vicenda is safe at first, and that would be an error.
E5?
E5.
So explain to me the numbers. Let's pretend I don't know.
Let me do this. What are the numbers, Mike?
Okay. So I'm going to go and say pitcher's number 1, which means that the catcher would be number 2. Then right to left, right? So 3 is the first baseman, 4 is the second baseman. And then I just said E5, third baseman.
And Tucker Bishop rips one to left field. He has himself a single. And 2 Falcons are on the board now at first and second. Brings up the second baseman, Anthony Morris.
So like I was saying, third baseman, number 5. Shortstop, number 6. Now is left fielder number 7?
Yes, it is.
Then center fielder number 8, right fielder number 9.
See, you had the answer all along, Mike.
Okay. Well, that's the only time when it gets a little confusing because you start with first base, so you might start with right field again and have right field be number 7.
Low for ball number 1 to Morris, and J.J. Jamerson has himself in a jam.
Jamerson?
Jam.
Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam.
No, hey, this is not a basketball game, Mike.
That's all I know. It's the only life I live.
Hey, if you want to sing, wait till the middle of the 7th inning for the 7th inning stretch, and you can do a little rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
It's one of the
And that would be
corniest songs in the history of sports.
I think it's one of the greatest songs in the history of sports.
You're such a baseball traditionalist.
I very am so. I love the game of baseball. I love the history about it, and so much.
I can respect the history, but
America has so much to give back, to say thank you to baseball for.
Like what?
Well, let's go Jackie Robinson.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
First African American ever to play Major League Baseball, and they try to turn 2 and get the out at second, try to backdoor at third, and he's safe at third. There's 1 out. And that'll be a fielder's choice.
Good job to break up the double play.
Mm-hmm.
Swinging wide and making sure that the shortstop wouldn't have a good look at first.
2 outs now, and Gio Torres steps up to the plate, and I actually got the privilege to play with his older brother, Christian Torres, who was an excellent center fielder and a great leadoff man. Still continuing to play ball today, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get picked up by a Major League team as well. Little first to third off play there, and they have Morris hanging out at first. No tag there. Run coming home, and he is out at home for out number 3. And that ends the bottom of the 6th, and we're heading to the 7th.
Hi, my name is Malcolm Gamble.
And I'm Marnie Silvani. We're coming to you from the Solano studio on the Solano College Sports Network.
And we have a speech and debate update for you.
The Solano Speaking Falcons just competed at the Tabor-Vinitsky Tournament down in Southern California. It's a 3-day tournament hosted by Cerritos College.
And the first day was debate, and guess what? All teams broke. The teammates are Alice Hoover, Antoinette Shirley, myself and Roxley, and Brad.
And on the following day were our individual events, and Solano took first place in sweepstakes awards. And here are a few highlights. Roxy Gallegos took first place in persuasive speaking.
Alice Hoover was on one of the top speakers in debate. She took 4th overall.
And in 3 weeks, the Solano Speaking Falcons will be hosting the state tournament in Concord.
Where we will be taking home some more gold.
Go Falcons.
So we're getting ready for the top of the 7th, and let's look back at that last play, Mike. It was a pickoff play. You know, the pitcher comes up with his left leg, fakes the throw to third, and goes to first. And now that play, as of this year for Major League Baseball, is an illegal. It would be called a balk.
Is there a way to make that not illegal? Like if you actually step toward third and then switch around to first?
You have to step towards third. Okay. Otherwise, it is a balk. But they completely took that play away for Major League Baseball.
Okay,
it's kind of a little cheap play there. I mean, you can catch a lot of runners at first base, and I've done it a time or two, and I've been, got caught a couple of times or two. First pitch, high for ball 1.
Just from the experiences we've had together, you got a couple of legs on you. Mm-hmm. Got some wheels.
I stole a base time or two.
I never did. I always just drove them in. I got to walk around the bases.
2-0 the count to Spencer.
I was so cocky when I was young, especially when it was T-ball.
You were cocky?
Hey, at least that's a good point.
Strike call there.
But at least I know I'm not good at all at baseball.
At least you can admit it.
I'll still take you to town at basketball, though.
Yeah, I probably will. And there's strike call number 2.
And in baseball, I'll just blame Chelsea.
Yeah, let's see you dig in the batter's box. I'll throw you a couple pitches, see if you can hit them.
I don't want you to mess up your elbow.
Yeah,
or
I
your
probably
shoulder.
would. My old age now.
I just stick to kickball. We were robbed.
Hey.
You don't know that story.
You know what? And that is foul down the left field line.
Senior year of high school, leadership puts on a dodgeball tournament. And so me and my ragtag group of friends decide, why not? Well, let's form a team, whatever. And we did actually really well.
Oh, and Spencer keeps himself trying to battle this one off, but
Ooh. And he takes a face plant into the wall.
Good effort by Evan Vicenda. He's up there. He's all right.
Oh, that was dangerous because he tripped and fell into the fence.
But baseball players are tough. They don't get the credit that they deserve. Everybody thinks
there's no flopping in baseball.
Yeah, there's no flopping. There's people say baseball is a physical game, and I beg to differ. It's very physical.
Well, it's not a contact sport. It's not
No,
football.
You've never seen a guy chuck a catcher before, have you?
Is that illegal too now?
It is illegal. I don't know. Is it banned this year yet? It is.
Because
Buster Posey.
Buster Posey's too important to the league. Can't have MVPs getting injured.
He's like the Tom Brady of baseball. If you're that good, they make rules just to help you out.
That's true. Tuck rule.
I don't know, all you Raider fans out there hate that rule.
Oh, God.
Battling off that pitch.
I'm so glad that rule was done away with. It was a fumble. I'm just saying, Romanowski picked it up.
Nope.
They should have gone to the Super Bowl that year.
No, they should not have. Well, we saw what happened to them the next year when they went to the Super Bowl.
Well, that's true. But that's only because John Gruden had the entire playbook.
And it's a little chopper to Tucker Bishop at third. Bishop gloves it, throws it over to first for out number 1. What a nice play by Tucker Bishop.
Tucker Bishop, kind of a stone wall up there at third. Nothing gets past him if he can help it.
And up steps the leadoff hitter, Matt Lococo. Matt is 0 for 2 on the day when he was hit by a pitch in the third inning. That big third inning for Santa Rosa where they got all 5 of their runs. And it's fouled over the home dugout for strike number 1.
And this has really been a game of 2 or 3 innings. There's been kind of nothing doing in the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and now in the top of the 7th. Nothing so far. But first inning for Solano, third inning for Santa Rosa, and that's how you get all your runs.
And, looking back at that third inning, it led off with a hit by a pitch, an error to shortstop, another error, wild pitch, another error. There's 4 errors in that inning, and that.
So how many earned runs was that? 1? None?
Ooh, good pitch from Drew Lamont to take a little bit off of it and get strike number 2. Nice changeup. There's that changeup I've been talking about.
Well, that's what everybody's been talking about on this team.
Oh, trying to frame it there by Olsen. Couldn't get the call, and the count goes to 2-2. Drew has been setting himself into the rhythm since he came on relief.
Yeah, it's always good to have a long relief. Somebody who can chew up innings, doesn't give up a lot of hits or runs. Although, so far this year, Drew had not had that great of a year, as I mentioned earlier. 14 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned. Only 1 strikeout to date, but pretty positive showing from him so far today.
Yes, it is. And Matt Lococo swings at a ball out of the strike zone, fouls it off, keeps the count at 2-2.
Do you think our easy up could hold the ball?
Oh, yeah. We'll be fine back here.
Okay.
If not, I'll catch it. Don't worry.
I believe in you, Staj. You're going to let me get brain trauma.
Concussion.
I'll have to wear one of those big hats that they got coming out for pitchers nowadays.
Drew Lamont tried to sneak a backdoor slider in there. Couldn't get it to go.
What do you think about the new hats for pitchers?
If you want to wear them, that's fine. If you don't.
I mean, you saw how Twitter reacted to Wes Welker's big, giant XXXXXL helmet.
And Matt Lococo draws a walk. And Santa Rosa has something working here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. And up steps Taylor Martin.
So I want to get your opinion on the helmet, because you just went, and then you didn't say anything. So,
I was actually watching that game last year when, the A's pitcher, I can't even think of his name right now. He's no longer with us.
Then it's not important.
Wow, why can't I bat? Wow, this is really bothering me now, Mike.
I'll look it up. We'll get back to that. But continue your story.
Well, anyways, A's pitcher took one right off the dome, and it knocked him out of the game for a while. And I've seen a couple, pitchers get hit, runner going, nothing working there, hit and run, fouled back. Count is 0-1.
At least he made contact. Nothing worse than a hit and run where you don't hit.
Just got to make contact with the ball. Don't want to leave your runner out there high and dry. Anyways, and there's been a couple deaths the past couple years in Little League and high school play where guys, young kids, have been taking, line drives off their forehead, and it's unfortunate. But, it's these metal bats, these big barrel bats are way different than wood bats, and they've really dumbed them down the past couple of years. Ooh, thought about backpicking there. Nothing working. 1-1.
Brandon McCarthy.
There we go. Thank you very much. Now with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You think he's going to be wearing the extra padding?
I don't think so. It's one of those freak things that happen every once in a while, and it's the risk of the game.
I guess. I'd wear it, but I'm a little paranoid. And also my head tends to be a magnet for things.
Oh, and drills one out to center field, and Gio Torres is under it, loses it, gets it again. Oh, and tries to hose him at first. He's safe back at first, and there is two outs. Here in the top of the 7th, brings up Chase Stafford.
Chase Stafford having a bit of a game today.
He has a double and a single, and he also scored a run.
And then walk, or what was his third at bat?
E6.
E6, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's the one where it was at his feet, couldn't find it.
No, that was the one. That was Taylor Martin. The one there, he dove, it kicked off his glove and went in the left field. Drew sets. Checks runner and fires. Runner going. Olsen fires down to second, and it's a late tag, and he's safe at second base.
And he was itching to go. You could tell he had broke to steal a base a couple of times.
He got an excellent jump there, and a little bit of a low throw from Olsen.
And if Lamont isn't going to do any pickup plays to keep him close, then that's what's going to happen. Throw could have been a little bit better. It was on the other side of the plate. Second baseman had to come back across, catch it, then come back across to try to tag him. And every millisecond counts.
And Stafford lifts one to right field. A little shallow there. And he's under it for out number 3, and we're in the 7th inning stretch. So let's start singing some Taking Out to the Ball Game.
Hi there, my name is Roxy Gallegos from the Solano College Sports Network, and thank you for tuning in. I'm here to give you an update on the Solano men's basketball team. Last Wednesday, February 12th, the Solano Falcons took on Marin, and what an exciting game it was. Solano was down 10 points at halftime and came soaring back. Ryan Sondy and Brandon Davis led the charge, jumping ahead 1 point with 26 seconds left on the clock. After Marin called the timeout, they designed a play by Troy Moses that put them 2 points ahead, which proved to be a game winner as Solano lost a heartbreaker with a final of 65-67. Once again, my name is Roxy Gallegos from the Solano College Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in. Go Falcons!
Hi, my name is Malcolm Gamble.
And I'm Marnie Silvani. We're coming.
All right, bottom of the 7th. Up the bat, number 12, Gio Torres, who was up during the last out, but he didn't get out, so he gets another chance here. Got to see a couple pitches here from J.J. Jamerson. And he lays down a bunt, he pops it up, and he gets it down. It's a fair ball. Gio with some good speed. He's off the bag, and he's safe at first for a leadoff bunt. I like it. I like it.
Do you like it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
I feel like you relate to Forrest Gump.
He is a distant cousin of mine.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay. Makes sense. I've seen your family.
Stupid ass, stupid does. Up steps number 2, David Fernandez.
I'm digging the stirrups. Can't see it from this camera angle, but...
Oh, hit and run there. Gio got a good jump, so there's no play at second. And it works to perfection there and moves a runner over. A little swing and sacrifice hit, I would say. And, David Fernandez put a good line drive on it there.
Yeah, he got a hold of that one, just topped it a little bit. From my days in the batting cage, that happens more often than it doesn't.
And Bobby Contreras steps up to the plate here. Let's see if Solano can get back a run. There's only a couple innings to go. And he swings at the first pitch, allowing the runner to move to third. Gets the job done there, and now there's 2 outs.
Yeah, and a run an inning, and you're tied and going into the bottom of the ninth, or tied in the bottom of the ninth.
You know, this team last season had a lot of late inning magic, and let's see if they can continue on this year. And
just like with the basketball team, the last 2-minute ball club, and maybe they're the last 3 innings ball club.
Iggy Lawrence steps to the plate for his first at-bat. Gets a called strike there, and he checked into the game in the 5th inning for Darian Evans, replacing him for a little more speed on the bases. Iggy swings at the second pitch, and he fouls it down the right field line into the Santa Rosa bullpen.
Nobody is going to get to that one.
All he needs to do is put the ball in play here and get a little base hit single. Solano could really use a run. They haven't scored since the 1st inning where they put up 2 off of a Darian Evans single. Fires. Pitch is outside, called for ball 1. You know, that's a very good layoff for Iggy because that is one of those pitches that you would like to swing at as it's sweeping away from you. Oh, and he flails at that one for strike 3, and that ends the threat for Solano, and we're heading to the 8th.
Hello, my name is Denzel Carter, coming from Solano Studios. Thank you for watching SCSN. Now to start things off, I'll be updating you on women's basketball. Last week on February 12th, the women had a great victory against the Marin Mariners with a score of 78-61. With Denisha Lundy leading the team with 27 points, her teammate Taylor Hamilton came around and put up an additional 22 to help get to that victory. Now with that win, they have clinched the 11th Bay Valley Conference, and now they are preparing for the playoffs, and we all will be keeping a close eye on them. Well, that wraps things up here. My name is Denzel Carter, and from all of us at SCSN, thanks for watching. Now back to the game.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Thompson, cameraman here at Solano College Sports Network. Thank you for watching SCSN, your home for Solano sports. Now back to the game.
And we are back, and it's the top of the 8th, and Drew Lamont comes out on the mound for his 4th inning of relief work, really helping out Ryan Ernest here. You know, as soon as Drew Lamont came into the game, he shut down this Santa Rosa offense and hasn't allowed a run. Santa Rosa did all their damage in the 3rd inning, putting up 5. Little sloppy defense from Solano, and a couple walks hurt him.
So I got you a trivia question. And you should be able to answer this one.
Okay.
What happened on this date in baseball history? 1980. What happened? February 20th, 1980.
You know, that is a tough. Oh, Tucker Bishop lays out for that one there. Couldn't get a glove on it. It's a base hit to left field for Anthony Bender. You know, that's a very tough question, Mike, because it is not regular baseball season. It's actually spring training time. So I would have to say it was the trade from Babe Ruth from the Red Sox to the Yankees for $25,000.
1980, homie.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
not 1908.
You know, you have me stumped there, partner. Let me take a half inning to think about it. How about that?
All right. You should get it. You're going to be really upset with yourself when you don't.
Does it have to? Oh, and he lays down a bunt, and it's a good bunt down the first base line. And Drew Lamont picks it up, lobs it over to first for the first out.
Do you think Drew Lamont will go the rest of this game, or somebody going to come in?
You know, if Lamont can keep shutting him out like he's been doing, I can see him going the rest of the game.
Did pitch 6 innings in his first game, so.
And this is excellent. You know, you like to see a guy coming from your bullpen and chewing up some innings and keeping you in this ballgame. It's only a 3-run game.
A save situation, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. 3 runs. Or it's either 3 runs in the last inning, or if you pitch the final 3 innings, is a save.
Okay.
So if you can fix the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And to answer your question, Mike, I believe he's going to come out, and it's a pass ball there, and it's going to allow Anthony Bender to move over to third. to answer your question, Mike, we have some action going on in the Solano bullpen. So 2 pitchers down there throwing. We have a lefty and a righty. So it might
maybe a little matchup magic.
I can see some matchup. Stover, thank you. Very excellent pitching coach. Oh, and he rips one to right field, and that's going to allow 1 run to score.
And all Evan Vicenda could do is protect his face with his glove. He's like, I'm not getting hit by this one.
That was roped, and Evan Vicenda was playing in. If he was playing back, he might have had a play on it. But with the runner on third, you play in. Up steps Dylan Etrovich, and he is 0 for 3 today with 2 flyouts and a ground out. So give me a little hint on your trivia question. What does it entail? So it involves my Oakland A's. Okay.
Yes. That's the only hint.
Runner going. And it's a hit and run right to Bishop. Bishop no play at second. Fires over to first for the second out of the inning.
And for those of you at home, all I did was smack him in the head a whole bunch so that he knew, because he's my partner in crime here, Stas Zamora, is wearing his Lucky A's hat. Is it a Lucky A's hat?
No, I have my own Lucky A's hat. I only wear it to A's games. I have special things I wear to the games to get good luck for my team. What
are you A's fans going to do without the Belfour Rage?
Hey, we got Jim Johnson. Jim
That's
Johnson
true.
has led the past 2 years.
You'll
Combined
think of
saves.
something.
Center field to Gio Torres, and he's camped under it. Not a problem for him. For out number 3, minimal damage. The score is 6-2, and we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. All right, bottom of the 8th action, 6-2. Solano is down here at Billy and Luis Yarbrough Stadium, and you're catching it on SCSN.
So, time to put up or shut up. What's the answer? Today in baseball history, what happened?
So it was 1980.
February 20th, 1980.
And it has to do with my Oakland A's.
Yes.
Now, I'm allowed to ask you 2 hints.
You already got one of them.
Okay, second hint. Does it have to do with coaching staff?
Yes, it does.
And Faulkner grounds it to short. Short picks it up, fires over to first for out number 1. The manager of the early 80s was Billy Martin, so I'm going the hiring of Billy Martin.
It was the hiring of Billy Martin.
All right.
February 20th, 1980.
And you know what?
215, 218 record during his 3-year stint.
And you know,
I mean, it was a little before my time, but
Billy Martin was George Steinbrenner's favorite person to fire. He had a revolving carousel of coaching, and he'd fire one coach, bring in Billy Martin, fire him again for disagreement, then bring back Billy. It was actually pretty comical. Instead of hearing about A-Rod all the time, you heard about Billy Martin.
Well, you're not going to hear about A-Rod a lot this season.
And he lays down a bunt, and it's a beautiful bunt down the third base line. He's got some good speed, and he's safe.
For those of you at home, because we are slacking on the broadcast portion, that is Andrew Harris, the 5'10", 165-pound outfielder from Bear River High School.
And, you know, he showed he's got some wheels there. I wasn't surprised to see him steal a bag here with Evan Vicenda up at the plate. So Solano has one out here in the bottom of the 8th, down 6-2. Let's see if they can.
Andrew Harris, 5'10", but he's lanky, so he looks a lot bigger than he is.
He's got a nice lead over there at first. And strike called on Evan Vicenda.
If you had to pick between Evan Vicenda and Andrew Harris, who do you think is taller?
I would say the same height.
You're close. Evan Vicenda is 5'11", 1 inch taller. But he doesn't look it because he's a little bit more stout, a little bit more fire hydrant-y.
Runner going, and right to the first baseman. I thought that was going to be a beautiful hit and run in the gap, but the ball tailed right into the hands of the first baseman for out number 2.
Kind of a golf swing on that one. When are we going to play golf again, Stosh?
I don't know. Do you want me to put a little whooping like I did on you last time?
You only beat me by 2 or 3.
I believe, what did I shoot, 37?
37, I shot a 40.
Mm-hmm. Only on 9, folks. We didn't get that full 18 in.
No, actually, I shot a 40 on 18 holes. New world record.
Up steps Tucker Bishop. Runner on second, 2 outs.
I don't think I could walk the entire 18.
That's why we got a
I'd
cart.
pass out. And, well, I don't trust you with the cart. You can't be driving.
I did throw you out of the cart. Strike called there on Tucker Bishop.
Because you kept putting the brakes on so quickly that it always jolted to a stop. So I'm trying to get in the cart, and you drive forward. So then I'm falling, and then you hit the brakes really quickly. So then I fall, and I smack my head on the plexiglass.
Tucker Bishop puts one there to third base. It kicks off the third baseman's glove, and Harris is going to be at third base, and they hold him at third with runners on first and third. 2 outs for the Falcons here in the top of the bottom of the 8th.
So a little action going. And, Stosh, do you think Solano needs something going here?
Most definitely. They need to put at least 1 run on the board here to get the momentum going back in their favor. And it looks like we got a pinch hitter here coming for Anthony Morris. And we see the number here. We'll let you know.
Number 13, Nick Perez.
My buddy Nick.
5'11", 190-pound freshman out of Rodriguez High, your alma mater, I believe.
Yes, it is. And, you know, this is another player I got fortunate enough to play with. And actually, Little League All-Stars. 3-4 hitters right here. And
you were the 3, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. And Perez was my cleanup. He was also a pitcher back in those days.
Wasn't everybody kind of a pitcher back in those days?
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, Nick Perez is a very good athlete, very good baseball player.
He
very
is
smart.
Listed as a utility player.
He could play first base. He could play outfield. Strike called there to Nick Perez. And, you know, the first baseball broadcast we brought against DVC, he was actually our player of the game. He went 5 for 5 that game.
Let's look. And he's hoping to duplicate a little bit of that success.
Oh, and he tops this one right out the front of the plate. Easy play for the catcher there to put him out, and that ends the inning. Still 6-2. Solano has a lot of work to do coming in the 9th. All right, we're in the top of the 9th here at Billy and Louise Yarbrough Stadium, and Drew Lamont comes out for his 5th inning of relief work, 6-2 in favor of Santa Rosa. And you're tuned in to STSN, your home for Solano sports.
I'll never get tired of that.
Drew Lamont digs in, he sets some fires. Rope to the shortstop, David Fernandez. Fernie picks it up, throws it over to first for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And Drew Lamont still on the mound. You think so?
You know,
I'll ask you again. Is he? Oh, I answered my own question. There's going to be a pitching change.
And Stover's coming out to the mound. There's going to be a pitching change here, bringing in the lefty. Can't quite see the number or face on who it is.
I have bad eyesight. I'm sitting here with glasses on.
And Drew Lamont, what an excellent performance he had. 4 1/3 inning out of relief, allowing 1 run. Excellent job from him. And Drew had 2 strikeouts. So I would say he had a pretty good day. You know, take out the 3rd inning of this game for Solano, and it's a 2-1
good game
lead.
Defensively.
You know, it's 1 inning so far has been costing Solano. You know, Santa Rosa put up 5 runs in that 3rd inning. And ever since then, Solano has not been doing much from the plate.
How many strikeouts?
I believe 9 strikeouts on the day for Solano.
So the pitcher now is number 10, Roland Tyler. 5'7", 165 freshman pitcher out of Rio Vista High. Bats right but throws left. I wouldn't call him the big lefty since he's only 5'7", but a little Slim Jim Timmy Tim in him, maybe.
Oh, he's got a nice little curveball there. I just saw a little tough bite. And actually, we got to another one of the guys I got to interview. And
you got to interview a lot of them.
I got to interview most of the pitching staff, and we'll have those interviews ready for you the next broadcast when we have our full staff.
When we decide to actually get out here at the normal time.
Ooh, little tail movement there. This guy's got some movement. He's got a little bit of speed, and I'm excited to watch this kid pitch.
No, I don't quite recall the interview, but if I had to guess, I'd say that his favorite pitch is a changeup.
Matt Lococo coming to the plate. Matt had a walk his last at-bat and a stolen base. Tries to lay down the bunt, and it's called strike 1. Wow, my voice just squeaked there a little bit. That hasn't happened to me since I was a young boy.
Since you were a young boy? I mean, you may have facial hair, but you're still I mean, you're older than me, but you're still a young boy.
At heart.
You're still a little tyke.
Hey, they call Major League Baseball players are just big kids playing, big guys playing a kid's game.
Yeah. Any game you can play in the street with sticks and pine cones can't be
a little hanging curveball there, and off the hands of Facenda. That's a tough play to his
I don't think
right
you can
there.
call that an E3.
That's definitely a base hit. I'm marking it down as a base hit for Matt Lococo.
Cuckoo for Lococo Puffs.
And we're going to have another pitching change. And so what we were just talking about the lefty-righty matchup there. Okay, Mike, pitchers and catchers reported. Spring training is here.
Spring training is definitely a thing now.
I know you're a Giants fan. What are you looking from the Giants this year?
Not a lot. I'll be honest. But I tend to keep my expectations low, so I'm always I'm never disappointed. But Pablo Sandoval, I know he hasn't reported yet, but he did cut somewhat like 50 pounds, so it'll be fun to see him play in a contract year. So that'll be fun to see. Also, a couple of pickups. Michael Morris, help me out here on the pitcher's name.
Tim Hudson.
Tim Hudson, that's right.
One of my all-time favorite pitchers. He started with the A's, the Big Three, Zito, Mulder, Hudson. Went and had a great career with Atlanta. And he was having a great year last year until he had that horrendous injury where his ankle was stepped on, and that was just nasty, Mike.
Yeah, and so listening to all the sports pundits talking about it on their talk shows, and they're saying, it'll be a all-right pickup as long as he's not injured. And ankles don't tend to be a big problem.
It might be a little bit early in the spring, just getting that it was actually his right ankle, so that's the foot he uses to push off the mound with. So he could lose a little velocity, but his arm's still good.
Yeah.
That's what you have to look at.
And,
he's playing in a pitcher's ballpark.
That's true.
At Pac Bell.
But Pac Bell, AT&T, homie.
Shows my age there.
But, of course, me being a fan of both the Warriors and the Giants, now I got to worry about ankle injuries in both clubs.
And, the pitcher on the mound now is number 14, Brandon Mihalich.
Brandon Mihalich, the 5'10 utility player, 165, bats left but throws right. Freshman out of Will C. Wood.
And Taylor Marin is hitless today. He reached base on an error in the third inning. Lays down a bunt, runner going, comes up, fires, and he's safe at second with a stolen base. Second stolen the base today for Matt Lococo. And Mihalich looking.
He also had a defensive switch that we didn't even catch. Eric Colson is no longer in the game, and Ian Acosta is behind the dish.
Oh, good curveball from Brandon Mihalich to get called strike one.
Or did you call that, partner? I didn't notice. Andrew Harris came in, the pitch hit, and was replaced by Ian Acosta.
And I missed that too, partner. We have, nobody there at second base. Just fake the throw. Just get it in the mind of the runner there that you're not afraid to throw back at him.
The only reason why I got that Ian Acosta switch is because I was going to mention that is 2 stolen bases given up by Eric Olson, but it's not. It's
little hanging curveball there. Shot foul down the left field line, just barely. That'll be strike number 2.
So it has to land past the bag in fairground.
Yes.
It can't go over the bag.
If it is in fair territory and it curves around the bag, it is fair.
So it can land in the outfield
as long as
the
ball was in fair territory before as it's going over the bag. So if it hops right there in front of third base and it's fouled back over the visiting dugout. So if the ball is going over here and say it kicks off the grass right there and curls over, it's a fair ball. But that's a judgment call by the umpire there.
And I've noticed in the couple of games I've watched, I watched a lot when the Giants are good, not so much when they're not.
Shows your true colors there, Mike.
They're not black and orange. But
ring him up. What a beautiful curveball from Brandon Mihalich. Had Taylor Martin just baffled up there at the plate.
That's one of those you give up on it and hope it doesn't hit you, and then it comes back and strike 3.
And that's the second out of this inning.
But like I was saying, I've noticed an inordinate number of baseballs hitting the third base bag.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen a lot, or is that just like a freak thing that?
It happens a lot. You turn on one, and it's a little hard ground ball. Another curve ball from Brandon Mihalich, called strike 1. If you hit the bag, it's pretty much a good play because third baseman or first baseman is ranging over there onto the line, and they're expecting to be on the ground. It hits the bag, it goes over their head. It's hard to make that adjustment unless you're playing for it. Timeout called by Chase Stafford. And Chase Stafford is 2 for 3 today. Reached on an error also and scored a run. Ball outside. And you'll see that a lot from these Solano pitchers. When they're ahead on the count, they're not afraid to throw the ball outside and saying, hey, go ahead and swing at this. I'm not going to give you nothing to hit.
Well, I mean, isn't it a hitter's preference to pull the ball?
Yes, it is. Oh, it depends on the hitter.
In general, the average hitter.
Curveball. Foul down the left field line.
Well, that's the second one that's just gone foul.
Mm-hmm. It really is all a preference. Like, look, Ichiro Suzuki, he'll put the ball anywhere he wants to put the ball.
Well, yeah, but, I mean.
Some people have better power to the opposite field. Bryce Harper has excellent power to the opposite field.
Well, I say here corrected then.
Brandon Mihalich shakes off the pitch. He sets, and he fires. Fastball outside. Ball.
Count now 2-2.
David Fernandez comes over and talk to his pitcher, Brandon Mihalich. Maybe he's seen something about Lococo back there. Maybe they can pick him off over.
Well, he is leaving second base.
And, I think it's David Fernandez probably came up to Mihalic and saying, hey, give him more than one look because he's looking back and coming setting fire, or just doing a no look. Yep, just right there. Told him to do 2 look. Frees the runner there. Ground ball to Fernandez. Fernandez picks up the ball, throws it over to first for out number 3, and Solano has some work to do in the 9th. Down by 4. Let's see if we can get some late inning action, late inning excitement from these Solano Falcons. All right, bottom of the 9th action here on SCSN, your home for Solano Sports. We're at Billy and Louise Yarville Stadium, where the Solano Falcons are down 6-2 in the bottom of the 9th. We have a pinch hitter and Nick Burns for Gio Torres, and he takes the low called ball for ball 1. And
Still? Okay.
Gets the called strike on the outside corner, and Jamison,
still in line to get the save.
Yeah, he's still in line to get nope, no longer saves. Oh,
well, because you said
3 innings, you're correct.
Yeah. Don't tell me what you told me.
Ball there, 2-1. Stover putting Burns in here. Maybe he can get a little spark from his little utility player
you
here.
might as well pull out all the stops.
Oh, just barely tips that ball. Didn't want to do that little check swing. Strike 2, call 2-2. Maybe Stover's looking to see who he can use, and later in the season.
Well, I mean, plus the lineup he threw out there to begin with hasn't done anything.
And it's a little dribbler right back to the pitcher, and Jamerson throws it over to first for out number 1.
Now, why does the pitcher run over to first? Why can't he just throw it from the mound? Or why didn't he throw it from the mound?
What's easier? Would you rather throw it straight from the mound to first, or if you have time, wouldn't you want to make a shorter throw, a little lob?
Yeah.
You have less chance to make an error if you just lob it over there.
I'd lob it from the mound.
If you can, if you can go all the way first without even having to throw it, that's better. Fernie takes first call ball.
Fernie, take one for the team. Lean into that one. Now, is it illegal to? Is it
illegal to lean into a ball? Yes.
Okay. So what is that ruled? Are you just considered out?
It would be a called strike.
Okay.
Because you're leaning over the plate, but if you're significantly over the plate,
well, you just don't lean out of the way,
then
you're sitting there.
I cannot remember the rule for that. And Fernie takes the pitch low to go 2-0.
I'm not saying stand on the plate and wait to get hit, but
if a pitch is coming to you, you don't get out of the way, then it would be called a ball, and the umpire will make you stay there. And that is a 4-pitch walk for David Fernandez. With one out here, brings up Bobby Contreras.
First time on base for David Fernandez.
It's actually his second time on base.
Time?
Yeah, he got on first the first inning. And it looks like there's going to be a pitching change for Santa Rosa.
Well, he's technically 0 for 3 then. With 2 strikeouts, 2 walks.
No, he's actually 0 for 2 because no, you're right. I thought that was a sacrifice. No, you're correct.
Why isn't sacrifice considered an out?
Because it's a sacrifice.
Well, obviously, but if I just hit it in the outfield, that's a sacrifice fly. But if it had landed, it would have been a hit.
It comes down to where you get a run to score. You're sacrificing yourself for the better of the team.
Is it kind of like if you get fouled on a play in basketball? If it goes in, it counts towards your field goal totals. But if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Similar.
You don't get penalized for playing team ball.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Ooh, Contreras, a little high inside. Turns
Take
around.
one for the team, Bobby.
You know, this is Jemerson's 4th inning of work here. Been a couple times through the lineup.
And you see the ball getting a little bit more elevated.
And that's a strike there called, going to 1-1. You know, that's something you do not want to do as a pitcher is elevate your pitches because that's where you get hurt. And Contreras grounds one right up the middle. We got runners on first and second, one out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Big boy Iggy Lawrence, but there's 2 L's, so I think it's Lawrence.
Yep, and now we'll have our pitching change. And they're just buying time so we can get a couple more warm-up throws. And it looks like maybe a double switch.
Yep, going to be a double switch. Third baseman going onto the mound.
That is Anthony Bender.
And number 9, Mike Reynolds, going into third base. So the save is thrown out the window.
Mm-hmm.
It seems kind of like an arbitrary thing, but I think if you're J.J. Jameson, you're a little upset that you didn't get that save.
Yes, but you know, Solano wish he would stay in the game because they've already seen him a couple times, got to see his repertoire of pitches and get his release point.
And you see, now there's runners on first and second. They've seen him before. And like you were saying, it's a lot easier to see a guy a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about with Barry Zito.
Yes. Barry Zito, where he's losing himself right now, is he used to be able to throw, you know, high 80s and he had a really long sweeping curveball, that beautiful 12-6 that really set it up there. But now he lost his velocity where his changeup and his fastball in about 3-mile-an-hour difference, and that's not much. And you can't, you know, if you come in and face the lineup once, you can fool him, but you can't fool him twice. So thank you, folks, for tuning in to SCSN and dealing with me and Mike here on the mic. We're trying to do the best we can for you to bring Solano baseball action here at Billy Louise Yarbrough Stadium. We have a crew of only 5 people here today. We have Chelsea.
4.5.
4.5. We have Chelsea Williams, Lonnie Thompson,
Denzel Carter.
Denzel Carter up there on the camera also.
And, of course, Stas Marta and myself, Michael McLeod. And, you know, we're not too unfamiliar with each other, but I'm a little unfamiliar with this game. First time ever calling a baseball game.
And you're not doing so bad. You know, I think
under the circumstances.
You're doing a pretty good job since we were out here by ourselves, just me, you, and Denzel setting up everything, all our cameras. And
if it had stayed that way, I would have given up by the 5th inning. I would have been like, hey, you know what? Just pack it up. We'll give a report on what happened.
And Iggy digs in, and he is on that line and really tucked up against the plate, looking for Anthony
Does it help
Bender.
the umpire make the strike zone a little bit smaller? Or does the umpire have a strike zone? And
The umpire has a set strike zone, so even if you're on top of the plate right here and he brushes you off the plate, it's going to be a strike. Low ball. Fernandez thought about it. And that's what Solano likes to see from a relief pitcher coming in and throwing in the dirt.
Hey, you could if you load the bases, if you're Solano, you
got a chance.
Yeah.
Hey,
thank you. I was
baseball, you always have a chance.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Ooh, ball 2 to Iggy. You know, I can't remember which coach quoted this, but one of the baseball coaches saying, the reason why baseball is the greatest sport in the land is because we just don't sit on a ball and kneel out the clock, or we just run out the clock. We get on the mound, and we give the other team a chance to come back.
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't know if that's a direct quote, but that's the gist of it.
Paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing, of course. And then there's strike 1, 2-1 to Iggy Lawrence. And he's backed off the plate a little bit now. Maybe trying to bait him to throw inside.
Yeah, not much of a difference, but
Bender shakes off 2 pitches there. Sets, fires. Oh, and Iggy fouls that one back.
And he did definitely throw inside. We didn't get a chance to talk to Iggy during our interviews.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll catch up with him sometime during the season.
Eventually they'll win a game and he'll be the player of the game. Try to get to a different player each game.
This club is going to be a winning ball club. It's just, fixing the kinks here and there.
And the only way to really improve yourself.
Oh, and Iggy pokes one down the right field line, and that's going to score Fernandez. Oh, and they hold Fernandez at third. Base is loaded, 1 out.
Yeah, that was not going to end well for Fernandez had he turned the corner.
You know what? That was a big hit from Iggy Lawrence, and up steps number 44, Trevor Faulkner, the DH for this Solano Falcon team.
And I don't think they're telling him to lay one down now.
No, they are not. And, Faulkner's shown that he can go to the opposite part of the field, so maybe they might try to bust him in right here, trying to get a strikeout, and Faulkner turns on one. He's definitely got some power.
What's your prediction for this at-bat?
I'm not predicting because I'm not doing no broadcaster's curse, man.
You told me how the game was going to end in the last 2 minutes of the basketball game.
I was pretty on point with that.
Yeah, well. If we had the same answer.
Ooh, low and outside. Ball 1. Faulkner steps out. Now he digs back in. Bender looking in for the sign. Bender gets a sign, comes set. Bases loaded, 1 out, 6-2. He rocks and fires. Oh, and Faulkner just missed that one for strike 1.
And when you're fouling it straight back, it means you're on top of it.
Mm-hmm. He's seen a couple pitches now. And like I said, I got to play with Trevor, and I know he loves that inside pitch. Oh, hanging curveball there, and that was a little too high.
A little neck high, but
he tried to get that high strike call there, but it crossed Faulkner a little too high there. Another high curveball. Couldn't get the grip on that one. It's 3-1.
Do you walk Faulkner just so you don't have the threat of the big boy taking a yard?
I don't know. You have Ian Acosta.
That's true.
Coming up after this. Faulkner swings at this one, and it's fouled back, and the count is full. 3-2, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Bases juiced.
I had to give you a look for that one.
That's what it's considered, Mike.
Juiced?
Juiced. Oh, and Faulkner gets a hold of one here, and it's in left center field. Little late jump from left fielder. That's going to score Fernandez from third to cut this lead to 3. Sacrifice fly.
And he just missed it.
Just missed it.
Oh, left fielder didn't know where it was.
Not a clue. Left fielder had a terrible jump. Luckily, their center fielder out there got a good jump on the ball and read it perfectly.
Well, the good thing is, for the center fielder at least, if it's going to left field, it's going to left field. You can jump on that regardless. But if it's coming to you, you got to see where it's going first.
Exactly.
And if it's got some tailing action to center field, you might think it's coming to you, and then the winds take it. Or
Dan Earps, it just looked like he wasn't in on the play there. He kind of got that late jump. He was kind of standing there. Oh, man, the ball's getting hit towards me. He wasn't paying attention.
Remember one time back in Little League, they put me in right field, and then the what do you call it? 12-year-old that already had facial hair gets up to bat.
Alvaro Rubicabra coming in to pinch run for Iggy Lawrence. And I'm finally starting to get his name right. I was calling him Chupacabra before the season. And we know Rubicabra can run.
Is he fast or super fast?
Well, you'll find out in our next SCSN commercial. I can't wait to unveil those when we get them all edited and finalized.
I'm teasing a little bit of it, but
Ian Acosta digs in now, and the pitch. Right down the heart of the plate for strike number 1. And Bender comes out with a good first strike here.
Ian Acosta only batting 188 on the year, 3 for 16. So
he's due.
Yeah.
He's due.
Does have a double on the year.
Curveball. Going to get called for strike 2. Just froze Costa there.
And what you don't want to do is strike out looking.
Mm-hmm.
As a Giants fan, I know what it's like to see somebody strike out looking to win the game. And
And Bender digs in. Bender sets. Checks the runner and fires. High. Ball number 1.
Give him the high stinky cheese.
The high cheese. Trying to get him to chase there. You know, if you're up 0-2, you might as well waste a pitch.
Yeah.
Don't give him nothing to hit. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back right here with the curveball.
Front door?
Front door. Oh, and Acosta battles. Fouls that one back.
You never want to be the guy that loses the game. You never want to be the last out.
Yeah, and I've been there a couple times myself. It's not a good feeling.
I feel like you've been there a couple more times than you let on. I've seen your lack of clutch.
Oh, hitting my ego with low blows right now, aren't you, Mike?
Hey, Chelsea was the one that won us the football game. She caught it.
And Acosta keeps battling here. Fouls that one out, fouling off a couple of tough pitches. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Solano down 6-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Got runners on first and second. Already have a run in this inning. Costa was a late substitution in. Coming in for defense, and now he's
now is he considered a save? No, that's back to 3 runs.
Oh, and Acosta gets it here, and it's right in the glove to the center fielder, and he squeezes it, and that is the ball game, folks, where Solano falls 6-3 to the opposing Santa Rosa Bear Clubs, and it was a tale of one inning, Mike.
Yeah,
you know?
The 3rd inning, Santa Rosa puts up 5, and it was a tale of one inning for Solano, too. They put up 2 runs in the 1st, and then another run here in the 9th. But
you know, it didn't help. You know, Solano had 9 strikeouts on the day, and what? God, I can't get his name now.
Bruckler,
Ezio Bruckler. You know, he had a rough first inning, allowing a couple walks, and after that, he really settled down and rallying off 5 straight strikeouts against this Solano Falcon team, and they just continued rolling throughout, and Solano really couldn't get anything going. And you know, the bright spot of the day, though, Drew Lamont. 4 1/3, really shut down. He only allowed one run.
He really needed that because he hadn't done anything really up to this point.
And, you know, that's a good sign for Stover, somebody you can rely on out of the bullpen. But these boys have a lot of work to do coming into season. But I can see a lot of bright spots. I mean, they weren't really, with the strikeouts, they weren't hacking at it. You know, they were really taking good at-bats. It was just, you know, Bruckler had himself a day.
Yeah, at the very least, if you make a pitcher throw 6 pitches to get you out, you've done your job. So,
and, you know, they got Bruckler out early, and then they brought in J.J. Jemerson in the top of the 5th, and they brought him out. They took him out in the 9th there. You know, he pitched 4 1/3. And
yeah, and J.J. Jemerson really settled. He picked up where Bruckler left off.
You know, it's tough. Santa Rosa is number 3, you know, ranked team in the California League. And now
Delta College number 2. And really, Solano falls to 1-7, but you can't fault them for it. They go after the big boys and say, hey, you know, the best way to improve, like I was trying to say during the game, the best way to improve is to play against the best because you're not going to get that. You're going to get better quicker if you play against better competition.
Exactly. You know, taking a couple tough losses like they've had in the early season can really put a fire in their belly to when season comes. They're like, okay, it's time to play ball. I'm not going to be surprised when this ball club wins the Bay Valley Conference this year. I can really see a lot of bright spots. They have a good lot of young talent. And let's see, the next couple games coming up this Saturday, they're taking on Santa Rosa again in Santa Rosa. Then we'll be bringing you the game next Tuesday, February 25th, against American River College, which fortunately they are not ranked. Then after that, they'll be playing number 11, Sacramento City, number 18, Modesto College, and then number 4, Sierra College, and Santa Rosa again on March 8th.
And then conference play begins.
Yeah, conference opens up March 11th, Tuesday, against number 24, Mendocino, and that'll be a good game to look forward to. But until then, Solano loses a tough game against Santa Rosa here, and until then, I'm Stash Samoida, my broadcast partner Mike McLeod. Thanks for tuning in to SCSN and putting up with us today on a little short-handed staff. And we wish you the best. And until next time, Solano, keep on soaring.